You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, happy draft day. It is here. It is here. Thank the Lord. It is here. That's right. Tonight is the first round of the NFL draft. In this video, I will talk about the major players in their mock drafts and the Bears. All right. But before we get there, we've got a little update, some news revolving around the idea that Illinois, that's dragged their feet forever, are trying to throw a Hail Mary to keep the Bears in Illinois. Also, there is a poll, evidently from Bears fans, 38%, 38 out of 100 would say they would quit supporting the Bears if they move out of Illinois. As somebody that's in Texas that's a 49ers fan, what? Really? My best friend's a Redskins fan, also from Texas. There's Raiders fans all over the place here. I don't understand that. I'm a Yankees fan, also in Texas. I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan, also in. You would give up on your team because of geography? No way. I mean, is that a thing? I've said this before to people because of course, Cowboys fans always give me the curled up nose when they find out I am a fan of insert other teams here. By the way, most people I know are not Cowboy fans. I got to be honest. They aren't. Matrix is a Cowboys fan, but outside of John, I don't know a lot of Cowboys fans here. I know a couple of Texans fans, actually. But I've always said I don't need a map to tell me what team to root for. That's crazy as hell. Anyway, all right, here we go. Indiana is ready and willing to build a stadium for the Bears. I think that's going to be a big deal to Bears ownership and decision makers. The fact that Indiana is so lathered up trying to get this done and willing and wanting to do business. Look, it seems like Illinois, it's like pulling teeth to get them to want to do something. Illinois is trying to prove that it's able. By the way, I tried to go to the main sources of these articles. They're all behind paywalls. Nah, not going to happen. I'll just use Florio. Via the Chicago Sun-Times, the Illinois House of Representatives has passed a bill that creates a property tax incentive for the Bears to build their new venue on a property the team owns in Arlington Heights. The measure passed by a vote of 78 to 32. Wasn't the Indiana vote unanimous? It was. It seemed like everybody was behind that. Bipartisan, no politics involved. Would allow the Bears to skip a traditional property tax in lieu of negotiated and undoubtedly far lower payments. Illinois Senate will now take up the issue. Tax breaks are a different way to funnel taxpayer money into a stadium project in lieu of diverting existing public dollars. The Bears would simply be paying fewer dollars to the public. As explained, Christopher Plassite of the Arlington Daily Herald, the 376-page bill, which has grown from 38 pages. Nobody wastes time like politicians. And that's on both sides of the aisle. Is just one of the governmental incentives necessary to persuade the Bears not to cross the border. However it goes, the clock is ticking on keeping the team from going to a different state. The Bears anticipate knowing whether Illinois will be able to put a deal together by early summer. Regardless of whether Illinois does what the Bears want, it remains to be seen whether they'd actually move to Indiana. A recent Chicago Tribune poll found that only 38% of respondents would continue to support the Bears. Oh, my bad. Only 38% would support the Bears. What? I don't believe that. When push comes to shove and they are ready to kick off, Bears fans will support the Bears. Some people have told me the Indiana location is actually closer for them than Arlington Heights. So, okay, I don't know. And that 15% would change allegiances to another team. Florio calls it out, just like I just did. Of course, it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it. For most fans and sports teams are like family members. No matter what they do, they remain family members. And any threat to disown them end up being impossible to execute. My issue would be if I'm a Bears fan, I'm not blaming the team for this. I'm blaming your state. They've had a major case of dragging their ass on the... Brandon Johnson wouldn't even answer Kevin Warren's phone call. Don't blame the Bears for this. I think the Bears wanted to go to Arlington Heights originally. Indiana gave them a better deal. I still think there's a chance they end up in Arlington Heights. The one thing you notice, Soldier Field's a dead issue. There's no Soldier Field to it. Okay, on the screen, I have Chris Sims' mock draft. He's got a trade scenario that brings the Bears up to the Chargers pick, and they take edge TJ Parker. Todd McShay's final mock draft has edge number 25, Keldrick Falk, a guy I think the Cowboys might look at 20, going to the Bears. Right over here, Field Yates, TJ Parker, edge, Clemson. It's a massive need. Mel Kiper Jr., R. Mason Thomas, edge, Oklahoma. A guy some people's got a second-round pick grade on. And right over here, we got another mock draft, Zion Young, defensive end, Missouri. Oh, wait a minute. TJ Parker was Peter Schrager, I think. Let me look. Peter Schrager or Field Yates? Schrager. Okay, so TJ Parker's Schrager, and Field Yates is R. Mason Thomas, and Mel Kiper is Zion Young, Missouri. The one thing every mock draft has in common here for the Bears, they're taking an edge rusher. They're taking an edge rusher, which probably tells you they're going to end up drafting an offensive lineman. Because there's some out there that I have seen that believe the Bears could still use help at offensive line. You know, they did a hell of a job. Look, the Browns could learn a lot. We talk about the Browns a lot on this channel. We talk about the Bears quite a bit too. And the Raiders. These teams that need offensive line help, they should look no further than what it was the Patriots did, what it was the Bears did, especially the Bears, on offensive line to rebuild the damn thing in one off season. Now, the Browns have taken some moves in free agency to bring in guys that look like solid offensive line starters. Most people believe they're going to take somebody in the draft, Monroe Freeland, Caden Proctor, good luck with that. Freeland, yeah, I'd take. Why Caleb Lomu's not getting more? He's a pure tackle, left tackle. Freeland, pure left, a 34 and like 3/4 inch arms. An athletic juggernaut over, I said yesterday, I don't love any of these tackles. I don't. And honestly, once you get past David Bailey and Arvell Reese and Reuben Bain, I don't love a lot of these edges either. To be TJ Parker, yeah, kind of like him. Do. But some of these others, I'm not in love with anybody. Not. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.